Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gut Girls podcast. If you are watching, you'll notice that today I have someone a little bit different here with me. Angela is not here today, but I thought it would be a little bit fun to have my daughter Makayla. She's actually my youngest daughter. She is 14, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of have her on and talk about what it's like to have a mom as a gut health coach. And she's also been through quite a bit the last 12 months. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today on the podcast and give her a little bit of time. I'm going to do a little Q&A with Makayla today. So I thought that might be fun and see what it's like in the eyes of a teenager. So one thing I do want to do, full disclaimer, we're going to talk about our gut health journey. And I want to tell you like what it's like with her and how you don't have to make the protocol absolutely perfect to make a lot of progress, because you didn't actually make yours perfect, did you?
No.
So, okay, so let's start first. I want to ask you, what is it actually like having your mom as a gut health coach?
Well, now that I'm a little bit older, it's not like so different because I'm used to it. But definitely at first, it was like different from what like my friends do. And like me just taking like supplements and like eating healthier is just kind of different than what everybody else does.
Yeah, we kind of laugh sometimes. Some of her maybe friends come over, or maybe she takes something different for lunch or something like that. And they're like, we just don't have typical groceries in our pantry. I mean, we definitely don't have perfect diets. We love our ice cream, don't we?
Yes,
Love our ice cream.
I love ice cream.
And so we just figure out how to try to balance it all. And that's what we try to do, especially again, having two teenagers. Like I said, Makayla's 14, JC Kate will be 16. And so we're just trying to balance out the busyness of life, because Makayla, well, both of them are actually in a lot of sports, busy lives, on the go. So it takes a lot of food prep, a lot of intention into what we do. And we're, again, definitely not perfect. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about, like, tell me a little bit about how now, I mean, you've grown, what, 3 inches in the last, I guess really probably in the last year, she's grown quite a bit. She's been working out more, but tell me a little bit, now that you have grown quite a bit, like how does me being a gut health coach, how does that kind of impact how you feel about your body?
I think that it helps a lot because I'm like healthier, and even though like I don't realize that I'm healthier as much, just like being around, but like I can tell that like the things I eat and stuff, it doesn't, like, my stomach doesn't hurt after I eat and stuff. And it's just like the things that we do that like impacts it in the future and stuff.
Yeah. And you kind of notice too that I feel like a lot of times at school, you kind of notice other people maybe being sick more. She'll come home and be like, 10 people in the class have a stomach bug or have the flu or whatever. And again, not that she's perfect and never, ever gets sick, but it is few and far between now. We're really able to kind of fight it off. Like if she comes home and, says, hey, 10 people have strep in my throat or whatever, what do we do? What do you do?
I take like silver, I take like a bunch of stuff, and most of the time I fight it, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah. So when she says we take silver, Designs for Health carries a silver psyllin spray, and then there's a couple of other biocidin sprays that we actually spray directly in our throat that work as an antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal. So we really kind of do that, and we leave it out on the counter really until we feel better. If we ever feel like we have a sore throat, or she does or whatever, she'll do it until she kind of fights it off and everybody gets back healthy again, including her friends. And we'll put it back in the cabinet and use it again later. So I think that makes sense. I can see that.
And it's pretty good too. So.
She actually likes the taste of it. It's really not that bad, but you get used to it over time, don't you?
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. What is the most annoying gut girls thing that I do?
Make me eat zucchini. I hate zucchini. It's disgusting, but we eat it all the time.
We eat it all the time. It is a fantastic vegetable. It's super, what she doesn't know, the reason that I have zucchini a lot, it's a great fibrous vegetable, but it also, is really easy to digest. So it's a perfect green to be able to eat. And I do make it a lot.
I realize that there's a reason. I don't like it at all. It's horrible.
She usually eats a few bites and that's about it. So her sister likes zucchini better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about your gut health journey, because I said, you kind of gone through a lot the last year or so, and one of the things was your own gut health journey, and you experienced a symptom that honestly a lot of our clients that come to us, that come to Angela and I, a lot of times they don't experience what was your symptom?
Like my throat was feels like it was getting smaller. I don't really know how to describe it, but it wasn't hard to breathe or anything, but it was just felt like it was getting tighter, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's exactly how she described it to me. And so again, what did I say? We were connecting it to what?
The foods that I was eating.
We started kind of connecting it to foods. I used to make, and we've made it since, and she's been perfectly fine, but I was making a chicken crusted pizza. So we use ground chicken, and I put some Parmesan in there, and egg, and kind of do like this and make that the crust. And then we'll put some marinara on it. And we noticed that it happened that night, but then we also noticed that it happened after pineapple. So it was kind of like a couple of different things, and we started journaling it because I told her how important it is to journal, but we still couldn't really connect the dots. And so then what did you have to do?
I had to do a stool test.
What was that like?
I thought it was very strange. I didn't understand the reasoning behind it and why it had to be your poop, but I did it, and after I did, I understood why. And when the results came back, I was like, that's crazy that all this can happen just from your poop. But I understand it now, but it's just it was really weird.
Yeah. So some of the things that we found on her test, what she's talking about. And of course we explained what her stool test looked like, what her pattern looked like. And she had some overgrowth of what we call some opportunistic bacteria, or some bad bacteria. And we call it dysbiosis, where it's kind of an imbalance of the good versus the bad. And we really needed to do some work, and we do that in the Gut Girls. We do that really strategically, where we do a supportive, and then we kind of do a little bit more of an attacking phase. And so she did all of that. And what do you feel like? So we were talking about this last night. So what do you feel like one of the supplements that made such a big difference?
The IgGI Shield. It was chunky, because we stir it up and stuff, but it was also nasty, like my zucchini. But I mean, it helped significantly, so it didn't want to make me stop. But it was gross.
Yeah, so I introduced her to some new and different supplements. Of course, she does take supplements on a regular basis. We do that to try to drive down inflammation, make sure that she's really, we try to keep her hydrated. What all do you take at night? We'll kind of shift gears a little bit. What do you take at night?
Okay, so I take a collagen, they're all pills, not gummies, and then vitamin C, a vitamin D, magnesium, and then omegas, and I think that's
omegas. Yeah. So we do some of the core supplements for her, and then during that period of time, we were adding quite a bit of things that was personalized for what her stool test showed. And so how you noticed pretty quick a difference, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely stopped happening. It would happen maybe once, but that was when I cheated and I didn't do it a day, and you can tell it shows.
Yeah. So for several months you went gluten-free. We did gluten-free. She did dairy-free.
It was hard, and I tried to get some ice cream that was dairy-free, and it was not very good. I just rather not eat it.
We ended up finding some different alternatives and things we have what's the thing called? Ninja Creamy.
Yeah.
You can use a Ninja Creamy, and we used a Just Ingredients. It's what's that clear protein powder now?
No, we use that now, but we use a peanut butter protein powder.
Yeah. So we're able to use the Ninja Creamy to be creative and have something that's a little bit sweet for her, but also is still kind of on plan and wasn't gonna derail with all the work that she was doing with the supplementation and with the diet changes and everything. So that was pretty tough doing that, because she goes to public school, and so she saw everybody eating around her, and so it was a little bit challenging to kind of like be prepared and eat your food and everything, but you got through it, right?
Yeah, finally.
So you weren't perfect with it, right?
No.
We didn't do a super great job with the whole protocol, but
yeah,
you haven't had any problems since, though.
no, I haven't.
Yeah. And she's back to eating a regular diet. I kind of laugh, like when people ask me, do I eat like this perfect diet? Absolutely not. Do my kids eat a perfect diet? No. I kind of laugh about Makayla when I talk about what she eats, because she's kind of like one extreme or the other. She could eat just like plain shredded chicken that's not even hardly flavored. I mean, she likes to eat lean meats like that. But then the whole other extreme of her is she loves like sugary drinks. I mean,
love my drinks.
She loves like a Starbucks pink drink. I mean, there's nothing about that that's good, but so she's kind of one extreme or the other. She's not one of those people that likes potato chips and French fries and stuff like that.
I don't really like fries, and everybody thinks I'm crazy for it.
So it did make it a little bit easier, but you cutting out a lot of those sugary drinks and things during that time. But now you realize that was something that was really causing you problems.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, okay, let's shift gears completely here and talk about something else that's happened over the last 12 months. And actually, it just happened in this calendar year in 2026, right after the beginning of the year. Makayla plays basketball. She runs track and does the long jump in track. And so tell us what happened.
Well, we were playing basketball. We're pretty good, or we were. And I was just going to like steal the ball, and my leg just went out and back in when I like fell on it, and I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. Everybody in the gym knew, and it was like swollen as soon as I fell, and I thought I tore my ACL, and middle school sports were over for me. So it was really a tough time.
Yeah. So if you're a basketball fan and you know anything about that, she was actually going to wolf somebody from behind, and another player from the other team actually fell into her. And so, I mean, even talking to the surgeon, which we'll get to this in just a minute, it was kind of almost like a freak accident, the way that it happened, because the way that the girl fell in behind her forced her knee to dislocate and relocate. But in the meantime, she fell directly on the knee, and she tore what's called the MPFL. It's just a fancy, there's a long word for it, whatever, medial, blah, blah, blah. But what it is it's essentially the ligament that holds the kneecap in place. And so, so that actually, the MRI actually showed that was torn. How'd you feel?
I was very upset. It was a tough time, definitely. And I mean, I'm an athlete. I love to run and jump and play sports. So it was just really difficult.
Yeah. And so, but then we did go, so after we got the MRI and it showed that you had the tear, we actually went to visit a surgeon, because we assumed that you were going to have surgery and be out like an ACL or MCL tear for 9-10 months is really kind of what we were researching and expecting. But we actually have good news.
Yeah, they told me that I wasn't going to end up having to have surgery, and that I'd be back in
10 weeks?
Yeah,
12 weeks?
Something like
maybe
that.
10 or 12 weeks. And what was that like during that time? I mean, tell me, obviously right off the bat, we couldn't even get you in and out of the car because it was swollen. Her knee, for those of you watching, her knee was swollen so big. And there was just, there were actually, I think there was like a bone contusion and several other things that showed up on the MRI. So she actually did have quite a bit of damage to the knee, but again,
did I fracture it too?
Yeah, there was we could see on the MRI, there was like a piece of the bone actually just free floating in there as well. So we knew, and of course, it was super bruised and very swollen. So, you're pretty heartbroken.
Yeah, very.
So, because even though that ended your basketball season, you knew that you still had your spring season of your 8th grade track year.
Yes.
And
especially
so,
because last year for track in 7th grade, I got runner up at state. And so my goal was to win this year because I lost to an 8th grader, so I thought I was going to win. And so it was just very upsetting.
yeah, so she did miss almost all of her track season, but she worked really hard. I mean, she worked in our garage, really doing a lot of the physical therapy that was needed. And really, once we kind of really dove into this, for one, the surgeon applauded you for, not, because a lot of times when somebody has a total knee dislocation, they actually pop the ACL or the MCL or something else. And all of those things were perfectly intact. And so some of the things that we've probably been doing in our life and some of the exercises and stuff that you do have been able to keep that as strong as possible, even though you kind of had the little bit of the freak accident. And so what we learned in the meantime is how important it is to like really make sure that your quad and even below the knee is really, really strong. So you worked out in the garage hard.
I worked out really hard.
Really hard.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, doing some different work with bands and, a lot of strength training and really trying to strengthen around the knee, which has been super beneficial. But the surgeon also applauded us for some of the supplements that you had been taking. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, he was like, creatine is like one of the best things you can do. And then my mom was asking about like collagen and the vitamin C electrolytes. And he was like, all of that's great. I'm a big fan of that. And obviously she loved that because she always tells me to drink it and that will help. And so I think it gave me a little more like want to actually drink it because he also told me to drink it instead of just my mom. So
I mean, for those of you listening, you know that a teenager is not going to listen to her mom, even though she knows that I know this stuff. But It was nice that without me really even having, I mean, of course, I was the one that initially asked the surgeon the question, but without me having to go into depth, he was like, vitamin C is so great for healing and do creatine and keep doing your collagen and, all the things. And so I was like, yes. So she was on board to do that and did it pretty consistently. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I mixed like an unflavored collagen and then creatine and then like the vitamin C electrolytes and all into a cup. And at first it was really good. I drank it every day. But I just got so tired of it because I drank it from January and now it's May. And so I've drinking it for a long time and I just got so tired of it and it started to get nasty. And I'm saying I'm pretty picky. Like I don't like a lot of things, but like it just kind of depends. So it was not good.
You got through it though.
I did.
I mean, it's one of those things that you were like, you just know that you have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, because all of those things are really what's going to help build the ligaments and the tendons and really those tissues kind of surrounding your knee. And so for you being an athlete, all of that is so important, especially, and then of course, even as we age, I mean, all of those things we need to continue as well. So, okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, tell me a little bit more about like your nutrition today and how we kind of try to stay on par with that. I tell you what, in the mornings, like every morning, I want you to make sure you have what to start your day. What do you need to have?
Breakfast, we need like protein and like carbs and stuff, especially after like, because some mornings I work out and I need like protein and carbs and then a little bit of sugar and all of it just like helps your body to stay as well as it can. And you tell me that every day.
So you guys, if you've been watching the Gut Girls podcast and listening along for a while, then just like Angela and I may sound like a broken record on here sometimes because we talk about the foundational things that we need, and especially for kids, for teenagers. I mean, rest, how important that is for recovery. We made sure that she was resting. And I mean, she even did things like we did the sauna. She would do ice baths and things like that. We use castor oil. You guys probably have heard us talk about castor oil. We would use that directly on her knee, especially at the beginning. And we could almost see it like driving down the inflammation. I mean, the swelling would actually go down as she was putting the castor oil on and leaving it on for an hour.
Lots of ice and lots of castor oil, just back and forth. I just wanted to get up and go run.
She's a true athlete. I guess you guys can probably hear that in her voice, that she just wanted to get up and get going. So she, like I said, she's been through a lot the last 12 months. It's, between doing the stool test and having a symptom that really can be kind of scary, and then going into this injury. And so she's had to really kind of grow up a lot in the last 12 months. So tell us if there's one thing that you would tell, like, let's say maybe some parents or something had their teenagers listen to this since you're on today. What would you say to any teenager that might be listening right now? Like, whether they have an injury or symptom or just anything, like what would you say to them listening?
So if it's like more of an injury or something, just to like stay positive about it, because in the end, it will be okay. Like it was with mine. Like I thought all middle school sports were ever with me. Also, like helping and like talking to God about it really helped, like reading my Bible and praying more. And every day I would write down 10 things I was grateful for. And that was like really like something that helped me, because it helped me to like be positive and like remember the things that I do have, even if I don't have sports. And then more of like the like wellness side, I guess, to it is to tell somebody if like you are constantly having like stomach aches or like your throat's closing up and feels like that, like mine, like talk to somebody about it, because in the future it could just get worse and worse if you don't like talk about it to somebody. So
man, I need to have you on here more often. That was so good. I love so much about that. One of the things before we kind of sign off here for today, one of the things that I didn't really know that she was going to bring up today, but I love that she mentioned talking about, talking to God about it and reading her Bible and stuff, because guys, the mindset for healing, whether you're healing the gut, whether you're healing an injury, whatever the case may be, or even just trying to heal emotionally, mentally, the mindset is so powerful. Our minds are so powerful. And so I love that we did try to stay so positive the entire time, like throughout your injury, and really even when you were kind of dealing with the throat thing too. I was like, Makayla, you're going to get better. You're going to get back to eating your regular diet. You're not going to have the symptoms anymore, but it is work. You have to really kind of put forth the effort, but make sure you have the positive mindset and be grateful. I love that you made the list. That's so cool. That's great. All right. Well, that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed having Makayla on. I have enjoyed it, because a lot of times I'm just sitting up here in my little podcast area by myself. So I enjoyed having her with me today. And if you guys need anything, please reach out to us. You can get, the best way to reach us is to go to our website, gutgirls.health. And you can sign up for a free 15. You can go ahead and sign up for our foundational level of our membership, which is just $15. It's a great place to just get started. A lot of times we have people that are just like, I don't even know where to get started. That's the perfect place. You don't even need to talk to us to get started with that. So again, head to our website, and we will catch you on the next episode of the Gut Girls podcast.
The Gut Girls podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We are not acting as licensed medical professionals. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your health routine.